That's not your financial game. That's no different than a great post player looking at a guard hitting a bunch of threes and wanting to step outside when they can't shoot. You have to have a strategy that makes sense for you. Look, I mean, every basketball player has a unique game. They have their brand of basketball. Every team has their identity, the strategy that they put forth on the court. So why wouldn't every person have a unique financial strategy? Why wouldn't they have a unique financial game? Certain players, they're known for being tough defenders. They facilitate for their teammates. Certain teams are known for, having a great motion offense. Well, we have to figure out what's the financial strategy we want to employ? What makes sense given your set of circumstances, given your goals? What's a financial strategy that you get excited about? And that takes time to learn. That takes a lot of conversations. It's why I want to understand who you are as a person and who you want to become and be with you on that journey. One of the things I don't think people appreciate is when you have a strategy, the defense, so to speak, wants to take you off your game, right? I mean, if you're a great shooter, the defense is going to want you to take it to the rim. If you're an up-tempo team, the defense is going to want to slow you down. And financially speaking, you're constantly going to be surrounded by people that have a very different financial game. And the discipline, right, is that you stick with it. And you stay with, in the long term, the game that, and the strategy that's ultimately going to work. If a basketball team has a tough road trip, if they're not playing well, is the GM going to dismantle the roster? If you're a great shooter and you go cold for a couple games, you're going to keep shooting. I mean, shooters shoot. It's what they do. So financially speaking, you got to stick with the long-term game plan, and it doesn't mean we're going to be successful at every turn. I said being successful. What does that even mean? What is a win, right? Game of basketball, you know who wins. Financially speaking, is it just as simple as having more wealth financially than you did the year before? Or is there more to it? What have you learned? Have you stuck with your strategy? What does your spending habits look like? What does your network look like? And even going back to the game of basketball, is it automatically, we just chalk it up as a loss because you took the L? Or can you take wins in that? Can you look at the game tape? Can you assess what went well, what didn't go well? Can you get better in that process? Well, it's the same thing financially. We go back, we have the conversation. And look, sometimes they're tough conversations, but that's where we progress. That's where we get better. And that's where, if need be, we adapt the strategy. I'm not here to say that our game plan is always going to be the same. But what I am saying is we have to mutually agree upon it and we have to stick with it. Because you're going to be surrounded, again, by people that have different financial strategies. And quite frankly, more often than not, by people that don't have a financial strategy. Let's say you're a long-term investor. You come across someone that flipped a piece of real estate in 3 months. And you have a feeling of missing out. You're kicking yourself in the shin and you're saying, why didn't I be a part of this? Well, because that's not your financial game. That's no different than a great post player looking at a guard hitting a bunch of threes and wanting to step outside when they can't shoot. You have to have a strategy that makes sense for you. Players have their game. Teams have their game. Well, we need your financial game. And you need to play your game, not somebody else's.